G'day and welcome to ReDriven. Now, last week we published our top 5 underrated first cars list, and that video link is just up there somewhere. So it seemed only fitting that this week it should be the top 5 overrated first cars list. But what exactly do we mean by overrated first cars? Well, these are the cars that we see first-time car buyers buying all the time, or they're the cars that we get asked about by first-time car buyers regularly. But they happen to be either just a bit crap, a massive letdown, mechanically they're really unreliable, or they cost a fortune, like thousands of dollars to repair. Also, just a note about this list, this isn't just our opinions of these cars. We reached out to dozens of mechanics and technicians and motoring engineers and automotive journalists and even some car dealerships. So this is the culmination of all of their expertise. So I'm just the messenger. If you don't like the list, don't hate me. Also, even though our experts have found these cars to be overrated pieces of crap, we are aware that there are those unicorn examples out there that have never had a problem, that have owners that absolutely love them. There are those great ones out there, but overall, these are just far too risky for first-time car buyers. Anyway, here are our top 5 overrated first cars. Okay, kicking things off, it is a small car that we reviewed just recently, but our experts tend to feel that pretty much all of the generations of these are just overrated and way too risky once they're out of warranty. It's the Mini. Yes, it's funky, it exudes style and a very cool image, and being technically a BMW and therefore European, many expect a quality product, but short of the unique looks and fun driving experience when they work, these are generally pretty crap. Expect rattly interiors that have a habit of falling apart, unreliable engines that require expensive parts, and thanks to the tight and complex engine bay, repair costs that will quickly add up. Occasionally there are examples that appear for sale that have been owned by dedicated fans of the brand that are meticulously maintained, but even then, for a first car, our experts feel that the Mini, really any generation Mini excluding brand new ones covered under a full factory warranty, are just not worth the risk. For the full rundown of what can go wrong with these, just click on that link up there. Okay, next up it is the medium-ish car segment, and it's a car that we see first-time car buyers buying all of the time, and we cringe in fear every time it happens. It's the Volkswagen Golf. Okay, let's get something straight first. We're excluding the GTI and R models when we refer to the Golf, even though they can have their gremlins too. But the Golf models that are heavily overrated are the base to mid-range spec Mark V and Mark VI Golfs, specifically ones with the 2-litre TDI diesel engine or the 1.2-litre TSI petrol engine, and especially if it's an auto. There's this assumption that because it's German, it's going to be reliable, but the evidence begs to differ. According to multiple reports and surveys, including articles from the likes of Warranty Direct and the Reliability Index, these Mark V and 6 Volkswagen Golf models are reported as being some of the least reliable cars available. And when this is your first car, reliability and affordability are hugely important. The most common problems actually related to the bodywork, which was closely followed by the engine and electronic faults, problems with the gearbox and clutch, and even infotainment system issues. The reports also show that a quarter of the faulty cars couldn't be driven and took up to a week to repair. And many reports showed that these Golfs suffered from catastrophic engine and transmission failures. Okay, look, yes, the Golf is wonderful to drive. It exudes that cool European image. It provides a classy and practical interior. And according to the surveys and our experts' opinions, the Mark 7 and 7.5 Golf with a petrol engine are okay choices for a first car, as long as they've been serviced regularly. And yes, many Golfs are reliable and have given their owners no problems at all. But for what they cost on the used market for a first car, look, just buy a Corolla or a Mazda 3 or a Hyundai i30 instead. Okay, representing the small SUV segment, I'm sorry, it's another Volkswagen. This time it's the Tiguan. At this point, it is well documented that Volkswagen produce some of the most unreliable cars in the industry, but the Tiguan we're referring to here is the first generation from 2007 to 2018. According to the Reliability Index, this generation Tiguan didn't even place in the top 100 cars for reliability when new. So these days, now that it's a few years old and has probably travelled many thousands of kilometres, it just fails to match up to its image. Tiguans have experienced loads of issues, with everything on the car from the engine and transmission, actually with over 25% of all owners reporting major problems with these, to the steering, suspension, electronics, body and infotainment systems all requiring repairs. The first-gen Tiguan shares loads of components with the Mark V and Mark VI Golf, which may be part of the reason that so many issues are reported in the first place. And again, like the Golf, look, yes, they are lovely to drive. They come with that cool European image, and there are examples out there that are near perfect and faultless. But for a first car, look, guys, they're just too risky and overrated. Okay, these seem like an absolute bargain. Here in Australia, you can pick up a first generation Range Rover Sport, which cost around about $100,000 when new, for as little as $13,000. Like, it's big, it's safe, it's drenched in European cool. Surely that's a great first car, yeah? Nope, they're bloody terrible. Now, we totally get why so many people see these medium to large SUVs as being a bargain. It wears the luxury badge, it has all of the classy looks. And for those that don't know anything about cars, it is an impressive thing. But scratch the surface even a little bit, and you'll quickly learn that when used and out of warranty, these are just overrated. They're affordable to buy because depreciation hits them really hard, and they can cost an absolute fortune to maintain and repair. And from what the reports, surveys, and experts have told us, look, chances are you're going to be repairing it pretty regularly. Range Rovers in general are known to be notoriously unreliable and can be plagued with expensive and time-consuming repair costs. But at this budget, the Sport takes the cake. One of the big issues is that while the Sport may look great from the outside, thanks to Range Rover using really high quality paint and clear coat, these things can be hiding some wallet-damaging mechanical issues underneath. See, in some cases, because these can actually still be driven with many mechanical pieces being damaged, you unfortunately can buy one without realising that the mechanicals may need a substantial amount of work. In saying that, a third of Sports couldn't be driven and nearly half took more than a week to repair, and those labour costs, they add up quickly. Like the Mini, Golf and Tiguan, yes, there are owners out there that love their Range Rover Sports and have had no problems whatsoever. But again, if this is your first car or if you're on a bit of a budget, a Range Rover Sport is just not worth the risk. Okay, before we get to the spicy option on this list, can you please do us a favour and hit those like, subscribe and bell icon buttons, and after the video, go and check us out on the socials. Okay, the car we see a lot of first-time buyers buying when they want something a little bit spicier, but they shouldn't be buying them because these cars are massively overrated. It's the BMW 1 Series. Okay, before the BMW fanboys start screaming at us in the comments, we're focusing on the E87 generation and we're excluding the 125i, 128i, 130i, 135i, and obviously the 1M Coupe models. BMW's slogan is the ultimate driving machine, but they seem to have forgotten that when it comes to these lower spec 1 Series. The ingredients of a small body with an engine up the front and rear-wheel drive should result in a fun driving experience. But the 1 Series was, and still is, a massive letdown. Many fans of the brand claim it to be the worst BMW ever. But it's not only the lack of dynamics that are underwhelming. BMW was saving cash with the 1 Series, so now that these are a few years old, the leather interiors can feel like plastic, and they just don't hold up for a long time. But the real issues are mechanical. 1 Series fitted with the N43, 45 and 46 petrol engines, and the M and N47 diesel engines are renowned for major engine issues. Everything from major timing chain failures, fuel injector issues, Vanos unit problems, coil pack failures. The list of common engine issues for these things just goes on and on. Our major issue with these lower spec 1 Series is that first car buyers see them as an affordable yet luxurious and sporty first car. And a relatively modern BMW for less than $10,000, we get it. It does seem like a really attractive proposal. But guys, don't do it. They're overrated in every way. So many other cars for this budget will be more fun to drive while being totally reliable and affordable to maintain. And look, yes, like all of the cars on this list, there are faultless, near perfect examples out there with really happy owners. But yet again, for a first car, these are just not worth the risk. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, what did you think of the list? Let us know in the comments. And can you please hit those like, subscribe and bell icon buttons? It does us a massive favour. And after the vid, go and check us out on the socials. See you next time. Ask us about all the time. Ask us about. Okay, kicking things off, it's the small... Good start. Okay, kicking things off is a... Oh, what is wrong with me? I can't say that line. Okay, kicking things off, it is a small car that we reviewed just recently, but there's a truck going past to ruin the whole take. There's this assumption that because it... what's wrong with me, mate? The Mark 7 and Mark 7.5 Golf... The Mark 7 and 7.5... Like, why can't I say 5? as an affordable yet luxurious and sturdy, unreliable engines that will let us know in the comments below. And what did you think? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, after the video, hit those let us know in the comments below. And what? I'm gonna punch myself so hard in a sec.